I would say Kaylin's most annoying habit is her getting ready. She has a tendency to try on a lot of different outfits, and when those don't work out, they end up just going on a massive pile on the floor. So if I had to say anything, that would be it. My most annoying habit by far is asking a lot of questions. I tend to be a questioner, especially in relation to plans. I just have an intrinsic need to know what is going on at exactly what time. The first thing I notice about Kaylin is kind of a hard question to answer. Obviously, she's extremely beautiful, so obviously I definitely noticed that at first. But she also has an extremely attractive personality. She was always extremely funny, super smart, so it's impossible not to notice her whenever she walks in a room. Man, is this a good story. So, Kaylin made the first move. Funny enough, I'll never forget this. I was actually at P.F. Chang's one night with my dad, and it was right after a field trip. And we had been talking just as friends at the time. And she had texted me that day, and we had kind of talked throughout that dinner and that, I guess evening. And later on that night, I actually called her, and I think we probably sat on the phone for about 4 hours and talked. But also, too, there was also a scenario in our AP history class where we had gotten sat next to each other in our seating charts. And one day she just asked me for a pencil, normal question. Well, I give her a pencil and I lean over and I look in her book bag and it's filled with a bag of pencils. So I think that might have been actually the first move. It's kind of hard to pick. We've had a few pretty ridiculous arguments. The first one that would come to my mind would be just some of our arguments about how to pronounce words correctly. For example, like I always say espresso instead of espresso, and that drives her nuts. And then she always says mukbang instead of mukbang. So if I had to pick any of out of the handful of ridiculous arguments we've had, it would definitely be that. When Kaylin's mad at me, there's usually a few telltale signs, but I think definitely the main one is kind of like I'll say something stupid or that I don't mean, and she'll kind of give me a side eye, and then it's just followed by silence. My favorite thing that Kaylin wears, and I think she knows this, is dresses, specifically the one that I proposed to her in. If Kaylin chose any animal to be, I think she'd probably choose to be a dolphin. I think partly that's just because that's her favorite animal, but also because she loves everything water related. Picking one trait that I love the most about Kaylin's a pretty difficult question to answer. I think just about every trait she has, I at least have some sort of love for. But if I had to choose anything, it would probably just be her extreme passion for life. I mean, take a look at what she does for a living. Her whole job is not only caring for people, but also introducing new life to the world. And I don't think there's a better person or a more fit person to do that than Kaylin. She's truly the most caring, empathetic, and loving person I know, and not to me, not just to me or her family, but to strangers on the street. To anybody. I absolutely adore that about her, and I think 100% that aspect of her has really made me not only be a better friend and maybe a husband or fiance, but just a better person in general. So if I had to say anything, it would probably be that. There's a lot of things that I'm hoping that she knows going into marriage, and that I'm hoping that she knows now. But I guess if there's anything, I could choose, it would just be, just how extremely blessed I am, and thankful I am that I've gotten to spend the past 7 years is doing life with her, and then the fact that I get to marry her and do that for the rest of my life is it's an unreal feeling. I think it's an honor. There's probably nothing I can do or say to truly explain. But I think it's very important for me, or to me, that she knows, just how much of a light she has been. I mean, there's not a moment where she isn't on my mind, or I'm not wanting to be with her. And it's just an extreme honor to be able to call a person like that my eventual wife.